welcome to Green Garden Community TV. Got a tiny yard? Don't worry, because in 2025, less space means more style. Today, we're revealing 7 sleek and modern minimalist garden ideas that will turn even the smallest backyard into a bold design statement. From floating decks to zen courtyards and sculptural water features, every detail is clean, calm, and cutting edge. Let's dive in and transform your outdoor space the minimalist way. Want to make your tiny backyard look more refined, clean, and sophisticated without adding too much? Enter the grass-filled path trend of 2025. It's a game-changing approach to minimalist outdoor design that combines geometric precision with soft, natural texture. Imagine stepping into a small backyard where a walkway made of sleek rectangular concrete or stone slabs leads your eye outward, drawing attention to the landscape. But instead of a plain path, there's a striking contrast. Between each stone slab, a crisp line of vibrant green grass. This intentional design doesn't just look amazing, it serves a functional purpose too. It makes your backyard feel longer, wider, and much more structured. Unlike cluttered, overgrown yards or wild garden paths, grass-filled lines bring order and rhythm. The visual repetition of stone and green draws the eye, creating a strong focal point that enhances the sense of space. It's ideal for anyone with a love of clean lines, balanced forms, and quiet sophistication. Whether you live in a city condo with a courtyard or a suburban home with a petite yard, this design adapts beautifully. Plus, the grass-filled path looks amazing during all seasons. In spring and summer, it bursts with contrast. In autumn and winter, the stones become sculptural. In 2025, landscape design is shifting towards smart minimalism. Designs that don't just look good but serve a greater spatial and emotional purpose. Grass-filled linear paths deliver all that and more. They organize your yard, soften your walkways, and provide that perfect blend of man-made and natural. It's not just about walking from point A to point B, it's about walking with style, presence, and intention. If you want your backyard to feel bigger, brighter, and more balanced, this is the modern feature you need. The foundation of this design lies in repetition, contrast, and flow. Grass-filled linear paths take a simple concept, pavers and ground cover, and elevate it through precise, intentional spacing and clean, modern materials. The process begins with choosing large-format pavers, commonly 24-inch x 36, or custom-cut slabs made from concrete, natural stone, or porcelain tile. These slabs are laid out in a grid or linear format across your yard, typically spaced about 2 to 4 inches apart, with the gaps filled in by low-maintenance grass or green ground cover. Popular plant options for the inlays include dwarf mondo grass, creeping thyme, elfin clover, or even artificial turf for those who prefer a no-fuss approach. The plants are selected not just for their aesthetic value but also for their hardiness, drought resistance, and ability to stay low to the ground. This ensures the path remains easy to walk on, visually clean, and tidy throughout the seasons. With their soft texture, these grasses act as a natural cushion to the harder surfaces, reducing heat and glare in sunny areas. In terms of layout, these paths can be straight or staggered depending on the yard's dimensions and your visual goals. A straight path lengthens your yard visually and adds formality, while a staggered layout introduces dynamic energy and interest. Lighting elements such as low-profile LED strips or solar spotlights can be added alongside the pavers or beneath the edges to provide nighttime functionality without disturbing the minimalist look. The versatility of grass-filled paths is another major advantage. They complement nearly every minimalist backyard style, whether paired with raised concrete planters, wooden decks, or Zen-style gravel beds. Their low maintenance needs also mean you spend less time on upkeep and more time enjoying your yard. Best of all, this design element encourages intentional movement through your space. It invites you to walk, pause, and admire the garden from various angles. Ultimately, grass-filled paths are about contrast and control, combining organic beauty with architectural strength. They soften harsh lines, bring greenery into unexpected places, and offer an affordable way to dramatically elevate your outdoor design. In the world of modern minimalist backyards, they're not just a trend, they're a timeless staple. If you think your tiny backyard lacks space for greenery, think again. In 2025, the smart solution to limited square footage is going vertical. Living green walls, also known as vertical gardens, are one of the most exciting minimalist trends this year, and they are redefining what it means to garden in small spaces. These vertical installations transform blank fences or bare walls into lush canvases of texture and color, acting as both art and nature. Just imagine walking into your outdoor space and being greeted by a wall of vibrant plants, ferns, herbs, succulents, all growing vertically in clean, structured rows. It's the ultimate fusion of function and beauty. For modern minimalist spaces, where every inch counts, vertical green walls deliver massive impact without eating up ground space. They work like sculptural backdrops, softening hard surfaces, enhancing privacy, and drawing the eye upward, all while creating a sense of tranquility. These gardens feel intentional and curated, never cluttered. Even better, they cool the surrounding air, improve air quality, and offer acoustic insulation. Whether you're working with a small patio, a narrow side yard, or a balcony garden, living green walls give you the opportunity to layer in greenery and create depth without compromising space or simplicity. 2025 is the year to think beyond the horizontal. With sleek planters, smart irrigation systems, and drought-tolerant plants, vertical green walls are easier to maintain than ever before. Whether you prefer tropical leaves or trailing herbs, you can design a living wall that reflects your lifestyle and aesthetic. This is not just a gardening solution, it's a minimalist design statement. So if you're ready to transform your plain fence or exterior wall into something extraordinary, go vertical. Because small yards deserve big style too. Vertical green walls bring dimension and life to otherwise unused vertical space in a backyard. Unlike traditional gardens that spread across the ground, these living walls climb upward, offering a bold, space-saving way to incorporate plants into modern minimalist landscapes. The structure typically consists of panels, grids, or stacked containers mounted on a vertical surface such as a fence, concrete wall, or metal trellis. These structures are made from a variety of durable materials: galvanized steel, cedar wood, PVC, or powder-coated aluminum designed to withstand outdoor conditions while maintaining a sleek appearance. The plants used in vertical green walls vary widely based on sun exposure, watering needs, and aesthetic goals. Some popular choices include pothos, philodendron, spider plants, ferns, lavender, mint, and even strawberries or lettuce for edible walls. To support healthy growth, most modern green walls are built with built-in irrigation systems, typically drip lines or capillary mats that ensure even watering with minimal waste. These can be connected to timers or smart irrigation controllers for low-maintenance management. Drainage trays at the bottom help prevent water from seeping onto patios or decks, keeping the system clean and efficient. From a design standpoint, vertical green walls add a sculptural, organic feature to minimalist spaces. Their visual texture breaks up the monotony of hard walls or fencing, and they serve as living art installations. Placed behind seating areas, dining zones, or entryways, they create lush focal points that elevate the overall feel of the backyard. Moreover, vertical green walls offer important environmental benefits. They absorb carbon dioxide, filter pollutants, reduce noise, and act as natural insulation, lowering ambient temperatures around the wall. For urban backyards or homes in hot climates, this translates into a cooler, more comfortable outdoor living space. The system is also scalable from a single panel to an entire wall and can be styled in monochromatic green palettes or colorful plant mosaics, depending on your taste. Ultimately, vertical green walls are a smart, stunning solution for minimalist backyards in 2025. They're efficient, sustainable, and full of character, proving that even the smallest outdoor space can make a big impression. Want your backyard to look like a high-end design magazine without overloading it with plants or accessories? Say hello to one of the most polished minimalist trends for 2025: modern plant beds with sculptural edges. This trend takes a classic element garden beds and reinvents them with geometric forms, angular profiles, and architectural borders. Instead of loose, wildflower-style planting, this look uses symmetry and space to create a gallery-like outdoor composition. Imagine stepping into a small backyard where the flower beds don't just blend into the ground, they stand out like curated artwork. Each bed may be framed with clean concrete, Corten steel, or sleek painted wood, outlining bold shapes like rectangles, squares, or even minimalist L forms. Inside the beds, planting is equally intentional: rows of ornamental grasses, a few statement agaves, or trimmed shrubs in contrasting heights and textures. No chaos, no clutter, just balance. The power of this design lies in restraint. Rather than filling every inch, the space between beds is just as important as the beds themselves. This use of negative space keeps the area from feeling overgrown and maintains that open, breathable feeling that minimalist lovers adore. Even in the smallest yards, these raised or sunken beds serve as strong visual anchors, guiding the eye and organizing the landscape like sculpture on a gallery wall. Whether you want to upgrade your garden borders or add a sleek focal point to your patio, sculptural edged plant beds bring modern elegance to any outdoor space. They prove that minimalist design isn't about having less, it's about choosing better. So if you crave a calm, curated garden with architectural flair, this is your must-try feature for 2025. Modern plant beds with sculptural edges are the epitome of elegance and structure in minimalist landscaping. Unlike traditional flower beds that blend softly into the lawn, these beds stand out as architectural statements. The framing material makes a big difference. You'll commonly see cast concrete, rusted Corten steel, white-painted brick, or even black-stained timber. These materials give the beds visual weight and allow them to anchor the design, much like plinths support statues in a museum. The layouts are typically symmetrical or geometric. Think crisp rectangular shapes laid out in parallel, or clean diagonal beds that complement hardscape lines. Some designs incorporate step-level changes, one bed slightly raised, another sunken, adding a sculptural rhythm to flat backyards. The simplicity of the shapes allows the planting to shine while providing a clean edge that separates the greenery from gravel, grass, or hardscape. This also makes maintenance easier and prevents overgrowth from spilling into walkways. Inside the beds, the planting is curated. Instead of mixing many species, most designs use repetition. For example, a row of feather reed grasses can be paired with low-lying succulents or sculptural plants like yucca or agave. The idea is to keep the color palette neutral and cohesive: greens, grays, whites, while playing with form and height. Negative space is not only allowed but embraced, giving your eyes breathing room and creating focal points. These beds can also incorporate lighting, either recessed into the framing or uplighting statement plants to cast dramatic shadows at night. Integrated drip irrigation systems keep the beds easy to manage, and gravel mulch helps suppress weeds while adding a crisp contrast in color and texture. Whether nestled beside a patio or defining the border of a compact yard, these plant beds become artful partitions. Best of all, sculptural plant beds are flexible. You can scale them to any space, from a single striking corner bed to a multi-zone layout with walkways in between. They elevate your backyard without overpowering it, adding a curated feel that still invites relaxation. In a world that celebrates simplicity with impact, these beds are the future of outdoor design. Craving calm, balance, and elegance in your tiny backyard? Then the 2025 minimalist trend you need is a sleek gravel zen courtyard. This design style, inspired by Japanese rock gardens and elevated with modern simplicity, turns even the smallest outdoor area into a private sanctuary. It's not about adding more, it's about removing the unnecessary and highlighting what truly matters: texture, space, and intention. Picture this: a compact backyard wrapped in clean gravel flooring, punctuated with carefully placed stones, a small bench, and a cluster of sculptural plants like dwarf bamboo or black mondo grass. There's no clutter, just clean open space, raked patterns, and simple shapes. Gravel becomes more than just ground cover, it's the canvas for your outdoor experience. It absorbs sound, reflects light softly, and keeps the space cool and quiet. In today's overstimulated world, minimalist courtyards are a form of therapy. This 2025 trend brings mindfulness to outdoor design. You're not just creating a backyard, you're curating peace. You'll feel the shift every time you step outside. No distractions, no overgrowth, just calm in every corner. Gravel zen courtyards are incredibly adaptable. Whether you have a side yard, a small square patio, or even a rooftop terrace, you can create this atmosphere with just a few essential elements. The key is restraint. Each stone, plant, and path is placed with care. The result is a low-maintenance yet emotionally rich outdoor space that feels bigger and more open than it really is. In 2025, sleek gravel is the new luxury. When paired with natural textures, soft lighting, and minimalist design, it creates a timeless backyard that's not only beautiful, it's deeply relaxing. If you've been dreaming of a space where your mind can truly rest, this might just be your perfect garden. The sleek gravel Zen Courtyard is a serene, space-maximizing solution for small backyards in 2025. It draws inspiration from Japanese karasansui, dry gardens, while embracing modern minimalist principles: neutral tones, simple shapes, and intentional design. The core element of this trend is gravel, used not just as a filler but as a foundation for the entire aesthetic. Start by selecting the right gravel. Crushed granite, pea gravel, or fine limestone chips in tones of white, gray, or beige are ideal. These colors bounce light and give the space an airy, open feel. Once spread evenly across the courtyard, gravel can be raked into subtle linear or concentric patterns to enhance the Zen aesthetic. These lines add texture and a meditative element to the space, encouraging a sense of stillness. Design elements should remain minimal. Carefully placed stepping stones create pathways through the gravel. These can lead to a feature point like a low wooden bench, a water bowl, or a solitary sculpture. Each object should have meaning and be placed with care. Less is truly more. Surrounding walls or fences can be painted in soft matte neutrals to avoid visual noise, while accent details such as a bamboo screen, stone lantern, or polished concrete planter can subtly enrich the design without overwhelming it. Planting should be limited and structured. Dwarf conifers, Japanese maples, and grasses like black mondo or fescue are ideal for their sculptural form and low maintenance. Space between plantings should be generous, providing balance and calm. Small trees can be pruned to maintain their shape and height, emphasizing the concept of wabi-sabi beauty in imperfection and simplicity. Lighting is another subtle yet powerful layer. Consider low-slung lanterns or in-ground LEDs that softly illuminate the gravel path or accentuate a tree's bark. Avoid harsh or decorative fixtures instead. Let shadows and silhouettes do the work. The lighting should feel like moonlight, gentle and atmospheric. One of the best features of this trend is its adaptability. It works in dry climates where traditional grass won't thrive, and its water-wise nature is perfect for sustainable gardening. Maintenance is refreshingly easy too. No mowing, minimal weeding, and a quick rake now and then to refresh the patterns. Emotionally, a gravel Zen Courtyard invites you to slow down. It's a space made for quiet mornings with tea, evening meditations, or simply taking a break from digital noise. It grounds you literally and metaphorically. The openness, the lack of clutter, and the tactile feel underfoot all contribute to a heightened sense of peace. In today's fast-paced world, these modern Zen gardens serve as a natural pause button. They prove that you don't need a large yard or expensive features to create something meaningful. All you need is intention, balance, and a bit of gravel. Want to make your small backyard feel like a luxurious outdoor lounge without overcrowding it? In 2025, one of the most exciting modern minimalist trends is the floating deck with built-in planters. This design blends architecture and greenery, seamlessly elevating your space both literally and visually. Picture a slim, sleek wooden deck that appears to hover slightly above the ground, framed by sculptural planters built right into the structure. It's not just a place to sit, it's a statement of style, sophistication, and smart design. Floating decks offer clean lines and an airy aesthetic. Unlike traditional decks, they don't feel bulky or heavy. When combined with built-in planters crafted from the same wood or contrasting materials like concrete or metal, they create a streamlined look that minimizes clutter while maximizing function. The plants become an integral part of the design, not just an afterthought. This setup is ideal for minimalist backyards because it serves multiple purposes at once. The deck defines your outdoor living area. The built-in planters soften hard edges. Together, they guide your eye, organize the space, and create natural transitions from one zone to the next, whether it's lounging, dining, or simply enjoying the view. And the best part? You don't need a huge yard to pull it off. Floating decks can be scaled down to fit patios, courtyards, or even rooftop gardens. Their low-profile nature keeps your space feeling open, while the planters add texture and life without the visual noise of pots and furniture. In 2025, outdoor design is all about smart integration. A floating deck with built-in planters is a perfect example of how minimalist landscaping can be functional, artistic, and absolutely stunning. If you're ready to level up your outdoor living space with clean lines and curated greenery, this is the trend to watch. The floating deck with built-in planters is a modern design solution that meets both aesthetic and functional needs in small outdoor spaces. It redefines how we think about backyard layout by creating a clean, elevated surface that appears to float above the ground, typically achieved with recessed footings or a shadow line around the base. This illusion of levitation adds a light, airy feel to your yard, instantly making the space look more expansive. Construction materials often include composite decking, natural wood like ipe or cedar, or thermally modified wood for long-term durability. Clean-cut planks are laid in straight, continuous lines to reinforce the minimalist appeal. The decking typically ranges from 6 to 12 inches above ground level, depending on site conditions. Around the perimeter or at key corners, integrated planter boxes are installed flush with the deck. These may be made from the same decking material, powder-coated steel, or smooth concrete for a modern edge. These built-in planters are more than decorative, they're functional landscape elements. They define boundaries, provide natural seating dividers, and break up the horizontal surface with vertical green interest. Common plant selections include drought-tolerant grasses, small boxwoods, trailing succulents, and seasonal herbs for an edible twist. Because the planters are part of the deck, irrigation systems can be integrated discreetly for easy watering. The layout is usually simple and geometric. Planters may border the deck entirely or just frame one side for asymmetrical balance. In narrow yards, one long side planter can serve as both a green wall and privacy screen. Some homeowners even incorporate lighting into the planter lips or beneath the deck edges, casting soft ambient light at night and highlighting the floating effect. Another advantage of this design is maintenance. By lifting your living area off the ground, you reduce contact with dirt and debris, making the space cleaner and easier to care for. The integrated nature of the planters means no more rearranging pots or dealing with inconsistent heights. Everything looks cohesive and intentional. This trend also adapts beautifully to modern lifestyles. Floating decks can house built-in benches, coffee tables, or fire bowls, further enhancing usability without clutter. They work well in both sunny and shaded environments, and the material selection can help control heat underfoot during hot months. The floating deck with built-in planters represents a new wave of minimalist thinking in landscape design. It prioritizes flow, scale, and unity, turning a simple deck into a multifunctional retreat. Whether you're sipping coffee in the morning sun or enjoying cocktails at dusk, this design creates a refined and relaxing setting that feels effortless yet elegant. What if you could make your tiny backyard look dramatically bigger just by changing the colors beneath your feet? That's the beauty of the monochrome rock and grass contrast trend for 2025. This minimalist approach uses two core materials, gravel and grass, in a sharply contrasting color palette to create modern visual depth. Think matte black or cool gray gravel laid out beside vibrant green grass in bold, graphic patterns. The result? A small space that feels deliberate, high-end, and artfully expansive. The power of this look lies in contrast. The dark stones ground the design and make the green grass pop, instantly drawing the eye. You don't need a lot of plants, furniture, or borders to make it work. Instead, you use layout and texture to create rhythm and dimension. With careful spacing like alternating stripes or wide gravel borders framing turf, you can manipulate how the yard is perceived. Want it to feel wider? Use horizontal bands. Want it to feel longer? Go vertical. This 2025 trend is all about spatial trickery and visual balance. In a minimalist backyard, every detail counts, and this two-tone design puts you in full control. Plus, it's incredibly low maintenance. Gravel never needs mowing, and drought-tolerant grass or artificial turf means less water, fewer weeds, and clean lines all year long. This style works with all kinds of modern elements: concrete steps, metal-edged planters, modular pavers, or even recessed lighting. Whether you're redesigning a slim side yard or framing a small patio, monochrome rock and grass contrast gives your outdoor space clarity and edge. It's minimalist landscaping at its boldest, and it makes even the smallest backyard look intentional and artistic. The monochrome rock and grass contrast concept combines two fundamental landscape elements, stone and turf, into one striking minimalist pattern. This technique relies on high visual contrast to redefine the shape and feel of a small yard. By thoughtfully placing black, gray, or white gravel next to lush green grass, you create a modern graphic look that instantly upgrades your outdoor space. Begin by selecting your materials. For the gravel, opt for lava rock, crushed slate, or polished river stones in deep charcoal or jet black. These darker materials provide a strong base and enhance surrounding textures. For the green component, you can use drought-tolerant sod, a patch of artificial turf, or low-growing ornamental grass like zoysia or nomo fescue, depending on your climate and maintenance preferences. The layout is key. Instead of blending materials, keep them clearly divided. Use steel edging, concrete strips, or timber frames to create clean transitions. Popular designs include long rectangular stripes of gravel alternating with turf, circular grass inserts within a gravel field, or bold checkerboard layouts. This creates movement and anchors the space without needing extra decor. This design style works beautifully in minimalist outdoor themes where balance, proportion, and clarity matter. Surrounding elements such as furniture or raised beds can echo the monochrome palette for cohesion. Even a small gravel courtyard with a square of grass in the center can feel like a luxury retreat when the contrast is clean and intentional. Beyond aesthetics, this combination offers practical benefits. Gravel improves drainage and requires no irrigation. It also reduces heat absorption in sunny climates. Grass or turf adds softness and a cooler visual touch. Together, they reduce maintenance and provide a functional yet stylish surface for walking, lounging, or framing features like fire pits or water bowls. Lighting is another opportunity for enhancement. Low-profile solar uplights placed within the gravel lines or around the grass edges can elevate the mood and extend usability into the evening hours. You can even add minimalist stepping stones or benches along the color lines for structure and flow. Ultimately, the monochrome rock and grass design gives you the freedom to express style through simplicity. It proves that a limited color palette can still be rich in personality and that minimalist design doesn't have to be cold or empty. With the right materials and layout, even a very small yard can feel bold, modern, and unforgettable. In 2025, one of the most captivating ways to bring tranquility and sophistication to a small backyard is by embracing a single, sculptural water feature as the centerpiece. This minimalist trend is all about focus, using one elegant water element to anchor the space, quiet the mind, and create a serene environment that feels intentional and upscale. Forget traditional ponds or oversized fountains. Think sleek stone basins, black concrete bowls with a gentle ripple, or modern water walls with clean lines and soft trickling sounds. Why does this work so well in small backyards? Because water naturally draws the eye and calms the senses. When everything else in your yard is simplified neutral paving, restrained planting, open space, a single water feature becomes magnetic. It adds movement without clutter, ambience without excess. It also enhances the sensory experience, offering soft sound and gentle reflections that shift throughout the day. The best part? You don't need much room to make it work. Even a 2-foot round bowl placed on gravel or a concrete pedestal can transform a bare corner into a meditative zone. It's minimalist by nature, one focal point, one source of flow, and a whole atmosphere of calm. This 2025 trend blends art and nature with incredible finesse. Whether your aesthetic leans more toward Zen, Scandinavian, or urban modern, a single water feature complements it without overpowering it. And because it's self-contained, it's easier to install and maintain than traditional fountains. If your goal is to bring peace and beauty to your small backyard in a way that feels elevated and artistic, let water take the lead. With just one sculptural feature, you can introduce a whole new dimension to your minimalist outdoor space. The minimalist water feature trend focuses on creating calm and refinement using one striking, centralized design element. Whether it's a stone bowl, vertical water wall, or metal fountain, the idea is to distill movement and sound into a single sculptural piece. This approach allows the rest of the yard to remain open and quiet, while giving the eye and the mind something to center on. Most popular are low, round basins made of black concrete, granite, or weathered metal. These bowls may sit flush with gravel or rest on a pedestal, with a simple bubbler or stream gently disturbing the surface. Unlike traditional fountains with dramatic splashing, minimalist water features use a quiet, contained flow just enough to produce a soothing trickle or ripple. For vertical interest, consider a wall-mounted spout that flows into a trough, framed by smooth concrete or stone. This design doubles as a privacy screen or garden backdrop. In narrow yards or side gardens, even a simple copper pipe and catch basin can add elegance without taking up floor space. The area around the feature is equally important. Use fine gravel, dark pavers, or neutral concrete to maintain cohesion. Keep surrounding plants minimal and architectural, perhaps a sculptural grass, a clipped shrub, or a low tree with a graceful canopy. Accent lighting should be soft and indirect, highlighting the water's movement without creating glare. This trend isn't just aesthetic, it's experiential. The sound of flowing water reduces noise pollution and promotes relaxation. It encourages mindful pauses, turning your yard into a true retreat. For many, a single water feature becomes the most cherished element of the outdoor space. It also aligns with sustainable values. Many minimalist water features use recirculating pumps, meaning no waste or need for large reservoirs. Maintenance is minimal, and the systems are easily integrated into even the smallest yards, patios, or terraces. In minimalist backyard design, everything is intentional, and a water feature is the perfect element to reflect that philosophy. It brings movement without mess, beauty without bulk, and serenity without taking over. In 2025, this trend shows that less really can be more, especially when that less is a sculptural source of calm. Thanks for joining us on Green Garden Community TV. We hope these 7 modern minimalist garden ideas helped spark new inspiration for your small backyard. Remember, great design doesn't need big space, just smart choices. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share if you enjoyed this content. See you in the next episode, and happy gardening!